People have been saying I talk too much about my divorce, like I'm still stuck in the past. But what if the thing that broke me is the exact reason I became the man I am today? Now, before you judge me, hear me out. When I went through divorce, I did not have a roadmap. I was angry, I was bitter, I was resentful, I was lonely, and like most men, I did not feel like I could talk about it. So, yes, I do share my divorce, my experience. That's what I know. But it's not because I'm stuck in the past. It's because that pain is what helped me to push forward. I use that pain to build discipline, learn to set goals, learn to connect with people, and ultimately start traveling and start to transform into a man that I would have never dreamt was possible. So I'd like to address this head on. Am I still living in the past? Or did that pain push me to new heights and to new levels? Let's talk about it. Divorce can be one of the most isolating times in a man's life. You lose your identity, you lose your confidence, you can lose your home, your children. You lose the person who said that they were going to be with you forever through thick and thin. I'm sure you've had plenty of times where you've had your ups and downs where you thought you were working it out and everything was going to be good. And then you have a little rough patch, but you guys are in it together. You're going to stay with it. And then once the divorce hits, you quickly realize that your whole life is different now. You don't know where you're going. You're starting to reflect on these questions of where is she going to go? What am I going to do now? Will I ever meet somebody new? Am I too old for this? These questions just keep coming up. And so my story was never out of bitterness or resent. I left that in the past. I wanted to share my story so that guys can resonate with it, so they can see what is possible after divorce. If you really look at your marriage, I know it's tough now. Divorce is fucking awful, honestly. But if you reflect on it, you'll see maybe that there were some things that you were not happy with. Maybe you were not in the right mindset. You did not want to be in that relationship. And it took this divorce to really realize that you were not in a place that you wanted to be. That's what my story was. I realized very quickly that it was devastating to find out that she was leaving me for somebody else. I was now alone. I was not in the best shape. I was not really ready to move forward, which is probably why it was so painful. I did not have people I could talk to about this. I kept this all to myself, and I started coping with going out to the bars, drinking on the weekends, trying to think that that's how I'm going to get more social. I use this to play video games more. And I was just coping. I felt very isolated and I didn't know what to do. So that's why I want to share my story, that if you're feeling that way, I want you to know that it is possible to change. You can get through this. You could actually find that divorce can be the best thing that ever happened to you. So my goal has always been to help you improve yourself after the divorce, because it is a very tough situation. It's something that you're never really prepared for. Even if you have your ups and downs, you know that maybe you're not that happy. Maybe you don't want to be in the relationship. But once it's official that she's moving on, she's done with you, that is a rejection that a lot of people can't handle. I know a lot of guys that it has wrecked, that they've never really recovered after divorce. And I don't want that to happen to anybody. I know what is possible if you start taking actions to move forward after the divorce, to realize that the man that she left is not the man that you will ultimately or could be. You are capable of becoming a much better version of yourself. There are things that you can do after the divorce, and if you take small steps, that stuff compounds and you could be literally unrecognizable. If you keep taking the right actions, if you keep taking these steps, you could be a man that you don't even recognize. It doesn't matter if you have kids already. It doesn't matter if you're in debt. It doesn't matter where you are. Yes, it does suck where you are. You have to really address that. You do have to come to terms with where you are in life at the time of divorce, where you're at right now, but then figure out where you want to go. There are steps that you can start taking to get you to a better place, but you have to be willing to really dig deep into what you want, where you want to go, what are some small steps that you can start taking to get there. And that's the whole reason I want to share my story, so that you can see that I was in a similar situation. I've got a lot of comments that My story sounds exactly like theirs. So hopefully that helps them realize that they don't have to be stuck. They can make improvements. And just to realize that, getting over it is not, it doesn't just happen overnight. You don't just wake up one day and you're like, oh, I'm over it now. It's completely off my mind. Getting over it is you're able to reflect on it without bitterness, without any resentment. You can be proud, you can be grateful of the divorce, what's happened in your life. Because of my divorce, I'm very grateful that I was able to use that pain to become a different version of myself. Had I stayed married, I pretty sure I would still be overweight. I would still be playing video games. I can't really imagine myself ever pushing myself to be better, or traveling to the places I've traveled, or meeting the people I've met. Like, there's just, I I can't say for sure, but because that pain of that rejection, that that isolation, it forced me to start taking actions because I did not want to be there anymore. I did not like seeing her with some other guy while I'm sitting at home playing video games, and I'm just not living the life that I want. So it was starting to take those steps, which is why I want to share that story. So now we got that out of the way. I do not want this channel to be just about divorce. I want it to be about the rebuild. So going forward, we'll go over things that have to do with dating with clarity, mindsets, making you into a man that when you look in the mirror, you're proud and you respect yourself. And I want you to get to a place where when you look back at your divorce, you do not harbor resentment or anger. Don't take anything personally. You're able to move on. You're able to see what your life is capable of, where you've come from, and there's no resentment, there's no bitterness. You're happy with where you're at. So those are the goals for this channel. That's what's going to be coming up. I would love to hear in the comments from you guys. What do you want to see? What improvements can I make to deliver value to get you guys to a place that you want to be, that getting you from where you are now, isolated and lonely and angry, that's where I was, to living a life of your dreams. If you want new partners, helping you get to new people in your life. So let me know in the comments what you guys want to see. I'm here for you guys. So I guess I'll leave it there. Yeah, I'm going to go to bed now. Have a good night.